I get my chest to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reasonable doubt, it's clear to see. All eyes on me, 400 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hate it or love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique. A revolutionary shining with diamond teeth. Young Don Cartagena, excuse my demeanor. Just the glamour life, you still not a player. You ain't half as nice. I'm born again, life after death. I made the sacrifice, I'm super duper fly. Used to keep them hypnotized. I said my name is Juice, America's most. Ain't no half stepping. See you at the crossroads.
Money over on my headstone. Here lies them getting paid for. Never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm the gang 3 times.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuning.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On the ground, this is Ware. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ready, blue lady.
On 3rd down, Winston. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Winston and Humphries connecting there for a Tampa Bay 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Ready, go, go.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Ready, black, 22. That.
On the run, it's Ware. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
This is caught by Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Stay in there. Ready. Blue 80. Set.
Winston now from the 50. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
Ready. Blue 80.
From the gun, Winston. Complete, he finds Bray. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Ready. White 25.
They'll run now with Ware. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And they'll go on the ground. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down.
Ready. Blue 80.
Off the play fake, Winston. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Cassius Marsh. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
First carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They go play action here on 1st down. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They run it with McKinnon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
13.
Garoppolo on first down. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A dump down to McKinnon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far.
13.
Toss play to McKinnon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. He's to the 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. That's good for a Niner first down. Garoppolo to Garcon.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive down with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Jameis to throw it. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jackson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Winston on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A dump down to McKinnon, and he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And Garrett Selleck here on the completion. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Garoppolo now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Wide open receiver, complete. The 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. On first down, Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Jason Pierre-Paul. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy's stone-faced wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go. Third quarter. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
3rd and goal. Winston. Flush. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jameis Winston. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Garoppolo, 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
White. 13.
Here's McKinnon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Garoppolo now. Dancing to his left. And he will go down inside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Gerald McCoy able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Garoppolo now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10, McKinnon. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And now it's 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Gold is able to put it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go play action. Winston under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go. Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is He's met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. 3rd and long for Winston. They'll leave this for Ware. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
11.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Over the middle to Garcon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
This is Morris. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a 2nd down. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him, all focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now McKinnon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. He's back to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They come up in an offset eye. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium.